I'm feeling a misfire. There's a misfire here. I always got to be honest with the customer. You can't just take their money and not fix their issue. Good morning, guys. It's another day. About 7 a.m. over here in Richmond. We're headed to do some jobs today. What do I got going on? I got to do some injectors on the older Jeep, and then got to do a thermostat on the Forester, and then we have a customer with the front suspension complaint. Just a concern. Got to check it out, see what's going on. Then we got to do some U-joints and some other maintenance on the older Astro van.
Turn right.
And then we get a 06 Acura with front axles and an alternator replacement. So we'll see how it goes. All right, one of the most painful parts of the day. Fill up. Good old $100. Most pumps stop at $100. I'm sure it can take like an extra $5, but that'll do for now. So we're good for today. We'll see if we have any left for tomorrow. All right, so I'm gonna record this one's in little clips. Here we are. I already got started a little bit. Taking this off, disconnecting the injectors. We got to take the throttle body cables out and then disconnect it from the feed. And we got a few mounting points that gotta come off. So y'all saw me struggle there a little bit with I think this would be number one. There's a bit of corrosion on it, so the O-ring wasn't going in as smooth as it should have. So we got new O-rings, new retaining clips. It's ready to go back in, and I just cleaned up the area here for where each O-ring is going to go into. So I'm gonna get it put back in and we'll go from there. All right, so we got the fuel rail installed again, the feed, the clips, the 4 retaining bolts. This is like a bolt and a stud. Anyway, so what I like to do is build up some pressure. I'm gonna turn the key in accessory mode a couple times, pressurize the system, and see if we find any leaks. If we don't, we're golden. All right, still no leaks. All good. Car's running smooth. Perfect. So we're here with the customer with the Subaru to do the thermostat. So here's something that I deal with a lot. A customer will request a service. They are pretty self-sufficient, so they meaning like they're probably right. But in this case, we have a customer who requested a thermostat. Symptoms were vehicle drove fine from out of state, and then sitting at a drive-through, car shut off, car never overheated, but did some research. He figured it was the thermostat. He let their vehicle run with the cap off. Then he said he didn't feel any circulation. There's a misfire here. He did tell me that he replaced the spark plugs, and right now I'm seeing misfires on all cylinders. I'm gonna do that first and then talk to him and just let him know that what I'm feeling is a misfire, what I see is a misfire, or what I see, and if he wants to go that route instead of just doing a thermostat and probably not fixing his concern. And yeah, here we are. So we have, well, this is monitor 1, 2, and 3, so I'm assuming this is going to be the cylinders because there's 4 cylinders. We are misfiring. I don't think you can see. So misfire on 3 and 4. So early call, but maybe he mixed the wires. We'll see where they are. I spoke to the customer, and I think this is what separates us from other services, from other folks. When I first arrived, I spoke to the customer. Their concern wasn't the car was overheating. They arrived at that conclusion like the thermostat conclusion a different way. But the main concern was that the vehicle shut off and it wouldn't start on, and then now it's running rough. They had, before coming from out of state, they had done plugs, coil, and wires. So while I was taking pictures, we do pictures before we touch your vehicle. I went ahead and performed a complete scan on the scanner with the vehicle, which I show in the clip, and there was misfires in 3 and 4. So customer had gone back to the house. I called him back out. I told him that, in my personal opinion, I would address the misfires first, that the thermostat wouldn't affect the vehicle running so rough. You know, thermostats, it opens and closes for coolant, and yeah, it might affect it at some point, but the car's cold, it just started running, it's barely drivable. So they said they're gonna, since they did the plugs themselves, they're gonna try to do them again, or at least inspect them, and then if the misfire is still there, they're gonna call us back out for a diagnostic, or like a proper diagnostic. But you know, I always got to be honest with the customer. You can't just take their money and not fix their issue, or not voluntarily. You know, if you don't know, then just tell me you don't know. But yeah, we don't think the thermostat is gonna fix what's going on with the car, and so we're gonna leave this one tentative. They might call us back out next week. If they don't, then good for them, they save some money. But we're off to the next appointment, waiting for the customer. It's the vehicle in question. I'll probably just do a time lapse because this is gonna be already a long video. Here's the carnage. CV axle broke, and anyway, I'm trying to get it out now. Whole CV axle is out. I'm just gonna clean this up and put a brand new one in. Watching me work.
That's cap.
Come on, man, put in those arms, man. Jesus, dude, the truck, man, scratched it up. All right. We're making good time. Now we are in the hood. We are gonna do yeah, more garbage. Yeah, now we're just gonna do the alternator, which happens to be right here. So take the fan out, this out, the belt, and we should have it out. All right, so we wrapped it up. We did the 2 axles, the alternator, and now we're at Taco. Well, it was a Taco Bell parking lot, so we're gonna get some Taco Bell.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Yep. All right, so we are at the last appointment. We have to do some U-joints, an oil change, and then brake flush. So we drove it onto the jack stands. I'm gonna get working and removing the drive shaft, pulling it out of the transmission, and then and doing the U-joints. Alright, so we did the U-joints. Those took way longer than they should have. It's an older truck and they haven't been touched in a while. Now we're gonna do the brake flush. Okay, so now we're doing the brake flush. We cleaned the reservoir here, and then we're sucking out of the back. Sucking out of the back. And then we're gonna do the other side, and then we'll move on to the front. We got rain on. So we did the oil change, the brake flush, and then the U-joints. It's pouring out, so we're gonna just finish packing up, heading home, and I'll see you guys next weekend.